Now, Iran is out with a new warning for ships looking to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Use their approved routes or face a forceful response. It's threatening to upend any progress made during talks with mediators in Doha yesterday. Only a small number of ships are getting through right now, while hundreds are still stranded. Our Susan Ormiston spoke to one captain in India who was stuck in the strait for months. She joins us now from Mumbai with more on his harrowing ordeal. Susan, tell us about what this captain and his crew endured.
Yeah, so Captain Raman Kapoor and his crew of 21 and 2 other officers spent 2.5 months stranded in the Persian Gulf. They were loading up with oil for their oil tanker at a port in Iraq when the war broke out. They were told to get out of port, go and anchor in the Gulf, and there they were stuck for that 2.5 months. And he told us about what they experienced, what they endured during those months, particularly at the beginning of this war, with missiles flying overhead, and nearby another oil tanker was struck, causing a great big ball of fire. He said his crew was begging to go home. Here's a listen.
Horrible, scary stuff, you know. Once what happened is, like, in 30 minutes, in span of 30 minutes, we counted missiles. It was around 140 missiles. We could feel that tremor on ship. We could feel the shock. We could hear the sound, explosion sound. It was a horrible thing. My crew was, frightening.
Quite common for hundreds of ships who were stuck and are still there. Now, their problem was they couldn't get any relief. No one was coming in to relieve them from their ship. Eventually, he, as the captain, did get off the ship, and that's why we talked to him in northern India near his home, where he reunited with his wife, Sarika, and their 2 children.
Now, during this conflict, many seafarers have died over the course of it, many of them Indian. What more can you tell us about those circumstances and the response there?
Yes, at least 14 seafarers have died during this war. We don't often think about these people caught up in the crossfire in this long war, and 7 of those are Indian nationals, and particularly just in mid-June, the MT Setabello was attacked by a U.S. missile, which went straight into its engine room, and 3 Indian nationals working on that ship were killed. And that's a pretty big number if you consider 14 in total. Of course, that set off shockwaves across India and pressure on the Prime Minister to do something about seafarers' safety. And Captain Kapoor feels quite strongly that nobody talks about the seafarers who, carry oil all the time and container ships until, as he said, a dead body comes home. He knew one of the families who lost their son. He knows his uncle, and here's how he described him.
This guy was so young, he died. And he was the only son. Imagine. They lost him for no reason, for no fault of his or others. I mean, we were in shock. I mean, if they want to stop a ship, why they are attacking a ship? There are several other ways to warn a ship, stop a ship, not to throw a missile directly over on a ship and kill people. No, that's not a way.
He says that the entire merchant mariners fraternity is angry. He said they feel like pawns in this whole global war, which just continues, and he feels for the ships, the hundreds of ships still, which are stuck even now, unable to pass through that strait. India, provides 1 in 5 of the global mariners, seafarers in the whole world in normal times. So that's why it's really taking the brunt.
And around all this, of course, we know that discussions between the U.S. and Iran and mediators have been ongoing, the strait being a key topic of that. What's the latest on that? Where do things stand?
Yeah, well, we heard this morning that Iran is saying, look, you need to use our prescribed routes through that Strait of Hormuz, not the northern route, which goes close to the coast of Oman. They said, stick with our subscribed routes or we will respond forcefully. So a threat really coming even today from Iran as those talks are going on. Part of that is that Oman has tabled that they would like to collect tolls for going near their coastline on that side route. And Iran wants tolls as well. The U.S. says no tolls. The U.S. is desperately trying to get the strait reopened back to what it was before the war, let alone making any gains. But Iran is holding on to this leverage in these talks. So still a very volatile situation there with only a few ships passing through even today.
Okay, CBC's Susan Ormiston in Mumbai. Thank you, Susan.